The final volume of Stranger Things 4 is loaded with Easter eggs from secret Eggos to fantasy swords, Stephen King, Back to the Future and Pulp Fiction. Yippee-ki-yay movie lovers, I'm Jan, and in this video I'm revealing the biggest, best and most epic details hidden in the second part of season 4. Spoilers ahead of course, so take care. The sword that Hopper picks up for his face-off against the Demogorgon in Russia is no ordinary weapon. It's the legendary Atlantean sword wielded by Conan the Barbarian. If you were wondering how on earth the sword ended up there, there's a little clue in the 7th episode when the prisoners were given access to a weapons cabinet just before their fight against the monster. Look carefully as Dimitri grabs a spear, but one of the others takes the sword behind him. And there was a tease in the opening episode of season 4 to us getting some Conan the Barbarian action later via the poster for the Schwarzenegger movie in Mike's bedroom. When Hopper and Joyce come across a room in the prison full of Demogorgons and Demodogs submerged in giant vats of liquid, the moment has strong echoes of Alien Resurrection, which co-stars Winona Ryder and features her and a cloned Ripley discovering a lab full of tanks containing various xenomorph experiments. There's also an Easter egg to the second Alien movie when Sullivan orders his men to split up and look for 11.
Quarter and search by twos. Hicks, take the upper level.
This is a nod to Dwayne Hicks from Aliens, who was also ordered to do the same thing.
Quarter and search by twos.
Plus, when Paul Reiser's Owen calls Elle kiddo,
hey kiddo,
it's a nod to the way his character Burke addresses Ripley in Aliens.
Come on, that's a second chance, kiddo. On
top of that, David Harbour has said that the third Alien movie was a big influence for season 4, and the way the Demodog chases Hop through the corridors is reminiscent of the Xenomorph chase in Alien 3, as well as Bob's fate in season 2. And Hopper's plan to bait one of the Demodogs, then lure the others into a trap for Murray to flame them in the prison pit, is a reference to Alien 3 where the prisoners lure the Xenomorph into a trap. Eddie and his BC Rich Warlock guitar play a crucial role in the season finale. Notice how the red crackle finish on the guitar mirrors the Upside Down's colours, with its red and black and its cracks of lightning.
She was destined for an alternate dimension.
In fact, the classic heavy metal guitar was customised by the show's crew from a regular black design. Now, although the Metallica song Eddie plays is actually about drug addiction, its title Master of Puppets fits how Vecna toys with his victims, manipulating them like they're puppets on a string. And many of its lyrics that we hear during the show tie in well with the Creel House sequence that it accompanies. For example, I'm your source of self-destruction and Where's the dreams that I've been after fit how Vecna uses the memories of his victims against them, as he tries to do with Max again here, bringing back memories of Billy trapped in the sauna. Interestingly, even some of the song's lyrics that don't make it into the show, for example, twisting your mind and smashing your dreams, blinded by me, you can't see a thing, are also spot on for Max's story. There was also a heartbreaking clue to Eddie's eventual demise at the hands of the Upside Down's Demobats during the D&D game in the first episode, because if you look really closely, you can spot a tattoo of bats on his arm. Also, this tattoo of a clawed hand controlling a puppet was another clue to the song Master of Puppets that Eddie ended up playing in the finale. And just before he dies, Eddie tells Dustin,
"You're gonna have to look after those little sheep for me, okay?"
A reference to how he saw the Hellfire Club as a place for those like Mike and Dustin who didn't fit in.
I knew it the moment I saw you. Sat on that table right over there, looking like two little lost sheep.
There's a fantastic visual homage to the opening scene of Star Wars when Sullivan and his men storm into the Nina facility. The way they blow open the door, followed by a gunfire battle through a steam-filled corridor, is incredibly reminiscent to the stormtroopers busting open a doorway and having a shootout with the rebel guards. Then the way Sullivan strides down the hallway looking for Elle parallels Darth Vader arriving in the aftermath of the battle, demanding to know where the Death Star plans are. And the Duffer Brothers have specifically said they wanted to capture the tone of The Empire Strikes Back for season 4. So there's Eleven not wanting to complete her training with Brenner and instead go and help her friends in Hawkins, a reference to how Luke Skywalker leaves his training with Yoda early to help Leia and Han Solo. Plus there's the way the season ends with the villain's triumph as the Upside Down breaks into the real world. And one of our amazing movie lovers points out that Max ending up in a coma brings to mind Han Solo being captured and frozen in carbonite. And there's another hat tip to the galaxy far, far away when Murray utters one of the franchise's famous lines.
I don't know, Jim. I got a bad feeling about this.
As they roll up to the Russian prison to break back in, only to find no gods on watch. After Vecna's pain finally releases the vines that are strangling and about to kill Robin, Nancy and Steve, Robin responds,
I don't believe in a higher power or divine intervention. That was a miracle.
Which is a shout out to how Samuel L. Jackson and John Travolta miraculously survived a hail of bullets in Pulp Fiction.
This was divine intervention.
Which also starred Uma Thurman, the mother of Robin actress Maya Hawke. As Nancy is getting the cleaning supplies together for the gang to clear up the old cabin in the woods where Hop and Elle used to live, there's a very brief shot of a packet of Eggos, Eleven's favourite food since Mike first gave them to her back in season 1.
Whatever you want, kiddo. It's on me.
Waffles, please.
After Vecna succeeds in opening the 4 gates to the Upside Down in Hawkins, the ground-splitting cracks converge in the middle of town right next to the clock tower. Given all the clock symbolism in season 4, this location doesn't feel like a coincidence. It might also be a reference to the importance of the clock tower in Back to the Future, where it was a crucial way of harnessing the energy from a lightning strike that would allow Marty to time travel. Together with numerous other Back to the Future Easter eggs in the series, I suspect this moment is yet another pointer to how time travel will factor into season 5, something I discuss in a lot more detail in my How to Beat Vecna theory video. When Erica strikes back at Jason's bully friend, she says, "Crit hit!" which is a callback to the winning dice roll she made in the D&D game at the beginning of season 4. Crit hit! By the way, that D20 roll which defeated Vecna in the game will surely also be significant in how Eleven and the gang eventually defeat the villain. As well as a deliberately Rambo-esque image in the Warzone's advert, the store's logo also has a Top Gun vibe about it. It's an interesting choice given the Tom Cruise mentioned this season.
You have a Tom Cruise poster. That's old.
The poster's likely from his Risky Business era, which released in 1983, the year the first season is set.
Your lover boy from Risky Business? No, Carol thinks I actually kind of look like him.
Curiously, the Cruise comparisons continue this season as Mason Dye, who plays Jason, has major Tom Cruise vibes. And in fact, he said he prepared for the role by watching Cruise's movies. And inside the war zone, Jason and his fellow jocks have plastered the place with wanted posters for Eddie and other members of the Hellfire Club. The Warzone scene also reminds me of Nancy and Jonathan stocking up on weapons to do battle with a Demogorgon in season 1. The exploding blood balloons that Vecna sets off when he breaks into Max's memory of the snowball have vibes of the 2002 adaptation of Stephen King's novel Carrie, where she's soaked in blood in front of a balloon arch, as well as the It miniseries, where Pennywise sets off blood-filled balloons in front of an adult Richie at the library. By the way, the scene in Volume 1 where Eleven is soaked with a milkshake by Angela's bully pals in front of everyone at the rink is another reference to Carrie getting soaked in pig's blood and laughed at by her peers as an event that triggers her powers. Along with Nightmare on Elm Street and It, another huge horror influence on both parts of Season 4 is Clive Barker's Hellraiser. Vecna's attic in the Creel house where he goes for his creepy meditation sessions has big Hellraiser vibes, as Julia takes Frank's victims there to feed upon. And the rose window in the door of the Creel house is also a reference to the stained glass window in the door of the Hellraiser house. The Duffer Brothers have also said that Vecna is inspired by Pinhead from the Hellraiser movies, and despite their quite different appearances, both antagonists have a similar origin in that they were both once human before transforming into villains that primarily inhabit an extra-dimensional realm. The Michael Myers mask that Eddie puts on when the crew steal the RV is the same one that Max wore for Halloween night in Season 2.
Red, you got a ski mask or a bandana, something like that?
There's also a big Halloween and Michael Myers Easter egg in the way Vecna's body disappears after he falls through the Creel house attic window. And I explained that together with even more Easter eggs from the finale, such as a Stephen King book that Lucas reads to Max, in my Volume 2 Ending Explained and Season 5 Theories video. You can tap here to watch that or follow the link in the video description. So movie lovers, what other cool details or references did you spot in the second part of Season 4? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, do hit that like button, I really appreciate it. You can also tap left to discover why I think Eleven will be time travelling in Season 5 in order to defeat Vecna. Thanks for enjoying Stranger Things with me, and hope you have a marvellous movie-loving week. Yippee-ki-yay, movie lovers!